All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We are joined tonight by the reigning AFT Singles Rookie of the Year, Declan Bender. Declan, how's life been going for you, man?
It's going pretty good. Just we're down here in Florida right now, um, staying at the Smith's house, and just down here training, working, riding. We're riding over at Pensacola a lot, just hanging out, enjoying.
How you liking the vibes down there? How's it compared to being like back home where you're from?
It's good. It's a lot warmer actually. It's nicer during the days. It's really cold back home, and really snowy and raining a lot too. So we're not able to really ride all that much. Um, But down here, we can get the occasional rain, but typically it dries up pretty quick. So we're able to ride pretty much every day. We're headed to Louisiana this weekend, and other than that, just riding moto and riding flat track, working out. It's fun.
How does training with the group of guys down there? How do you feel like it's impacted you as a rider and your development?
I think it's good. I mean, we push each other a lot, um, and it just kind of, we learn things from each other. It's good to have friends. It makes it fun, and because a lot of times training you can overwork yourself, and if you're not with a group, then you struggle, and you don't always want to do everything. But when you're with a group, it makes it fun. It's refreshing, and you have somewhere to push your people to push yourself against, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun. We got a good group down here.
So what's the group down there? Who's everybody that you're riding with and training with?
I got Terrence Santero, Landon Smith, and then Chase Sadoff all down here with me.
Right on, bud. Uh, let's go. Let's flash back to the beginning and kind of talk about how you sort of became or how your love for flat track racing developed and motorcycle riding in general.
So I started pretty young. I started when I was racing when I was 6. Originally, the game plan was we were going to go the Nicky Hayden route. We were going to start in flat track and then move over to road racing. And as I started to get older, started to get to the point where I needed to switch over. There wasn't really anything that we didn't have the ovales yet. We didn't have the mini cup. We didn't have anything really to bring up myself in road racing. And so we just kind of just stuck with the flat track, and over time, just it's been a lot of fun. We learned a lot. Definitely have grown a lot. I never would have been able to think I would be at this point a couple years ago for sure. Definitely satisfied with and happy with this that we're at right now.
How would you rate your rookie season?
Depends on a couple ways you can think about it. Honestly, overall, the first half of the season, really killed me. Honestly, I mean, I didn't make the first 6 rounds in a row. I made my first one at Sacramento, and then after you make the first round, then they start to click off, and you just kind of make round after round after round. And I ended up making, I think it was 4 or 5 in a row. And then I missed one, made one, missed one, and then made the rest of them. But overall, I'm very happy with it. I mean, I'm very happy with it. 9 out of 10, whatever scale you want to go with. It started off really rough, and then over time we learned. We never gave up. That was the biggest thing. After Daytona, we left, and I was 22 points down in Rookie of the Year. So I just kind of put that aside and was like, hey, let's not focus on that. The results will come. So, and over time they did. So I'm, very happy. I learned a lot. I think I was through every scenario possible, pretty much. I mean, I had mechanicals, I had cracks from the back. I even got a little time up front. So I'm very happy. I think I had a good, well-rounded season, and honestly, I think I had the best rookie season anybody could ask for. So.
Right, but yeah, like you said, you started down a good bit, so had an uphill climb, but making that first main event, it's got to do a lot for your confidence. And we see guys who make their first main events or get their first wins, and they just go on a tear, kind of just like getting over that hump. You talked about being up toward the front. You definitely ended the season very strong at Springfield, running up with the leaders. Like, describe that. Yeah, I don't race. I'm just a fan in the stands. But you guys are out there, elbow to elbow, mixing it up on a mile, one of the fastest tracks in the world. how do you describe that feeling? What is that like for you as a rider, and then just being in such tight quarters on those 450s?
So it, being so intense in the mid pack, once you move up to the front, it almost kind of calms down a little bit. There's not as many people. Obviously, everybody is still just as fast. I mean, everybody is just so much faster, and I mean, you have to step it up. But it it almost feels a little bit more calm. It's a little bit, whether you're tighter with somebody, it's a little bit more spread out sometimes, um, and especially on the miles too. The miles, everybody always says they slow down a lot, and it's true. We, the corners are a lot wider. They may not seem like it, but once you get into the corner, they definitely feel a lot wider. And so you just feel like you have a little bit more room to move around. And I'm glad that it was on a mile, because it gave me more to think and process. And then, I don't think it caused as many rookie mistakes, especially up front. I was towards the front. I was kind of leading the second group at Black Hills. That one goes overlooked a lot. That one is really what started all of it. I mean, did well at Peoria, but it was still, towards the mid pack. And then after Black Hills, I really started moving up in qualifying, really started moving up just in general. I did the 7th at Black Hills, and then I qualified 9th at Castle Rock. I just wasn't able to get a good start. And then the LCQ, you couldn't pass at all at Castle Rock. And so I just didn't get a good start in the main event either. So I was stuck towards the back. And then in Springfield, we were able to just put it all together. I think I came from the 3rd row in the main event to the 7th coming out of turn 2 in one of the main events on the weekend. But being up in the front is just different. It's a whole new ball game. So, you're just learning. So it's fun though. It's a lot of fun. It's refreshing to have worked so hard and come from, so far back at the beginning of the year. It was a lot of fun.
It definitely shows a lot of grit and determination. Some people could, mail it in after a rough start and having to trek out west. I mean, it's not an easy journey. So definitely hats off to you for that performance and being able to claw back and come out on top in that rookie battle. With there's a lot of talk. I know you probably hear a lot of noise with, oh, well, Tom Green should have been rookie of the year, blah 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 blah. What are you as a rider? What are your thoughts on how AFT structures their rookie program? And then as a follow up, do you think it's better to kind of, once you're 16, go ahead and jump in, or kind of like hang back and go for that rookie of the year purse payout, because obviously that's a big contingency for you guys?
So I think it honestly depends. I mean, I've seen 18-year-olds that, maybe shouldn't be pro, and I've seen 15-year-olds that I think should be pro. I mean, honestly, me at 16, that's why we waited. I was not ready at 16 to turn pro, and I think it just kind of depends on the rider. I mean, even at local levels, I mean, we have riders who want to jump up to 450s before they should. And then we have people who wait, and stay on a 250 longer. But the rookie of the year, I think the rules are good where they're at. There was a lot of rumors about maybe, limiting a number of races. So you can only do, what was it? I think it was the year before, because I think that's what Tom did, wasn't it? Yeah, because he did Lima and then Springfields, but those ended up getting rained out. But I think that would be okay for the future. It kind of depends on the circumstances. I think that there should be a governing body to think over, make a rule, and determine what's fine and what's not. Because if you don't make a main event, then I think that possibly you should be able to go for it. But at the same time, you're no longer a rookie, technically, even if you did sign up for the year before. So the rules have a big gray area, but I think where they're at, they're pretty good. I mean, Tom, even though, I mean, it wasn't even close if he was included in rookie of the year running, but he ran the races the year before, and That's what the rules state, unfortunately. So
Unfortunately for him, fortunately for you, hey, it pays off in that area. And again, that's to take nothing away from you because again, like you battled it out, uphill climb, like we said, and came out on top. Your performance in those miles was super impressive. Seeing you out front, those bright yellow leathers, man, it was cool. That was my first time at Springfield, and that was cool to see you mixing up there because we get a lot of you'll see the Turner bikes, the Estenson bikes, the KTM's were up there a lot, but having you up there and kind of mixing it up with those guys is really cool to see. So again, hats off to you, great performance out there. Having that as how the one season ends and leading into this next season, we'll get into your ride here in a second, but what does that do for your confidence to close out on such a high note heading into this next challenge for yourself?
So, ending on a high level, I don't always take the results are great, obviously, but I focus more on what I learned. I really, really stepped it up towards the end of the season. I talked earlier about the qualifying, especially. I mean, towards the end of other than Springfield, which, at Springfield, that was my half mile motor. I never had a full mile motor. So that was just I had been running that motor since DeCoin, and I was able to do that. And so, um, just kind of learning the lessons that I did, that's what I take into the next year because that's what makes you more mature as a rider and what eventually leads to further things. So, very excited about the results, but that's what people are going to remember was, oh, he made 7th at Springfield last year. What is he going to start off at this year? But I think just having the knowledge of the team behind me and the knowledge of last year, like I said, I'm very happy with everything I learned as a rookie. I think that's what is going to really carry into next year and this coming season. I guess we're only 2 weeks away. So
yeah, right around the corner, man. Starting back at Daytona, going for a little bit of redemption after how it treated you last year. How did this ride come together? Because a lot of riders, they'll come into the singles program and they'll hang down there for a couple years, hone their craft before jumping to the twins. Opportunity presented itself, and you jumped at it and ready to go. How did this all come together for you guys?
So originally, I wanted to possibly stay for another year on singles. I know I still have a lot to learn. That's for sure. Even with how I ended last year, obviously I wasn't up there consistently. Miles were my forte, and clay half miles, I was still pretty good, but I still have a lot to work to do, or a lot of work to do, and a lot to learn. But thankfully, Johnny and Sarah were kind enough to reach out to me, and that's kind of how everything started. They reached out, and I was like, all right, I'm willing to ride a twin. We'll give it a shot, and here we are. I'm very thankful for the opportunity that Briggs and the Goads and Martin Trucking have given me. So
definitely a great team in your corner. So a lot of great support to have behind you as you step up. To make that transition. How much testing and riding have you done on the twin so far this offseason?
So I've only done a little bit of testing on the Indian. We've been trying to get more, but we had a lot of weather issues to begin with. We would schedule weekends and then it would rain and then we weren't able to go. And so we've been trying to find more time here lately. And Johnny and Sarah were kind enough to give me a practice bike as well. They gave me a Kawasaki to ride on. So I've been riding that a ton out here in Pensacola. So that has helped a lot. Honestly, every time I've hopped on the bike, I've felt better. And so just kind of learning it, adapting to it, feeling better, knowing what helps and what to do on it. So yeah, we're getting there. We're, still have a lot of room to grow on it, especially and learn how to ride it, but we're getting there.
Good deal, man. So what do you have as going into here, stepping up into twins? What are sort of your expectations and then goals that you have for this upcoming season?
So obviously, the first goal is just learn as much as possible. And we've kind of set a precedent of no expectations, but, obviously we all do, we want to do well. We want to grow and learn. And, eventually by the end of the season, our hopes are to be up front. The twins class is no joke. That's for sure. With Dallas and Jared and Breyer and Brandon, just everybody that's up front is awesome riders. And so if we could be up there by the mid to end of the season, I think that would be awesome. I'd love to get a couple top fives, couple podiums, even possibly a win. If we're able to eventually grow and get to that point. But I think for now, it's just learn as much as possible, adapt, and 1% better every race. I think that's our goals for right now.
I'm glad to see, you know, going the McAdoo route, just pulling your balls out, going right out of the singles class and going to twins, dude.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was nervous, especially to step up at the beginning. I was like super little nervous about it, but they had confidence in me, and I tested the bike before. Obviously we ironed everything out, but I rode it one time and was like, wow. It's heavier, obviously, but they ride so much better than a single. I mean, obviously the single handles bumps a lot better. I mean, we were out at PDT the other night and they were just heading straight through some stuff and I was like wheeling in and but other than that, I mean, they just they're purpose built, so they ride well.
You're coming into the twins class with a few other rookies for the first time in a while. We're going to have a pretty solid twins rookie class. Yourself, Trevor, and Max, that I know of at this time. How, I guess, what are your thoughts about elevating to the level along with them? What have you seen in their riding styles? And how do you feel like your program's going to stack up against what they're doing? Because you'll be on the Indian, Trevor on the KTM, Max on the Harley, so different brands as well involved.
Yeah, no, I think team wise and our programs and everything, I think we're all pretty equal. I don't think that's any question at all. I mean, obviously, I have a very great team behind me. I know Trevor and Max are both going to have good programs too. I think I have a lot of catching up to do on experience. Trevor and Max have both been in the singles and been in AFT for a couple years now. So, and both have, been on, factory supported or factory rides. So they have a little bit more support. Well, not support. They have a little bit more experience and knowledge behind that. And they've been running up front for longer. So they don't have that, that mental fog of being up front. I got a little taste of it towards the end of the year, but I still, I just found out what it was about. I still need to figure out how to be up there every weekend, week in, week out. So I think that's where we're gonna have a little bit of catching up to do. But other than that, I think it's gonna be a dogfight this year. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be fun.
It's definitely cool to have sort of, you've got your championship battle, you've got you guys mixing it up for the rookie class. It's been a tough offseason that we've talked about it. We've heard about it. A lot of guys struggling. I try to do my best to look at the optimism of the sport in that we still have the best of the best at the top tier, and then a lot of guys moving up. That's good to see for the longevity of it. Obviously, we hope to continue the pipeline coming through. There's so many top amateur riders that we see at events like Panhandle Clash, Winter Throwdown, amateur national events like that. Who are you've run a couple of these outlaw races as well and seen sort of guys come up. Who are some of the amateur riders that you're excited to see progress through the sport, and some guys that you tried to help out and sort of advise as someone who's now stepped into the professional realm?
Yeah, no, I always try and help the amateur riders. I mean, they're the next generation. I know I try to help a lot of younger kids as well. I think the top amateur kids that are moving up to pro this year that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and I'm sure are going to do well. Braden Fanders, he was just here a couple weeks ago, and Braden's super fast, a super good rider. And he's going to make a good rookie. And then obviously Evan Renshaw. I mean, I think it's going to be a good battle for rookie of the year for the season. I know, unfortunately, Braden's going to miss Daytona because of age issues, but I think other than that, it's going to be a good season. I know we got Walker Porter moving up next year as well. He's also really fast, and I think those are the main three to look out for.
Before I let you go for the night, go ahead and give the sponsors a shout out. Everybody who's helped make your program possible and get you to where you are this season.
Yeah. So, obviously, huge shout out to Briggs Auto and Martin Trucking and CD Martin for presenting me this awesome ride, and same to the goats. I'm super super excited and just can't wait to see what's going on and what's going to happen this season. And then I got LS2 helmets, D Sport leathers. Uh, I think that pretty much clears it for this year. I still gotta work on that list. I got a little bit of a switch for this year. Got Peoria Motorcycle Club as well. Um, so yeah, still need to iron out that list a little bit. But
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, best of luck to you this year. Again, we're looking forward to it. Declan Bender, everybody.
thank you guys.
All right,